Umpire, originally from Washington.
I thought it was interesting there, John, that Becker, having won the toss, selected to receive. So he quite clearly is hoping to get a quick break of serve.
Richard Coughlin, the umpire, originally from Washington State, Seattle, Washington, living now in upstate New York. Yes, that is an interesting one. The weather here has been absolutely perfect all week. The crowds have been record crowds. They've had to shut the gates on 4 occasions. And some 50,000 tennis fans have had the opportunity this week to watch some of the greatest players here at the Stella.
Move quickly, please. Ready to play. Thank you.
About 3,000 more than packed into this ground last year, partly as a result of the improved seating on the outside courts, where earlier in the week there were 1,800 seats available for people around the outside courts to enjoy the tennis. And altogether, this 18th Stella is living up to our expectations. And the wind, as you'll see, is blowing slightly left to right as we look down the court and slightly away from us. So the server at this end will have the advantage. The right-handed server, 2 right-handers today, will be swinging the ball into that forehand wing, aided by the wind.
Edberg to serve, first set. Thank you. Play.
So it'll be the local favourite, Stefan Edberg, to serve first.
Love 15. Flat for service.
I think most of us feel that Stefan will have to serve particularly well today. He's going to take away this title. And the familiar call of foot fault. It won't disturb Stefan in the least. He's quite used to hearing that call.
Second service.
Well, let's have a look at the back foot as he brings his foot forward right on the line.
(30-15).
One of the greatest volleyers of modern times, and certainly one of the best backhands that would rank alongside Don Budge, the great American player of the 1930s, Ken Rosewall, the great Australian of the 1950s and 60s and 70s and 80s. He's still playing in the 90s. And one of the greatest fans here of Queen's Club is the patron of Queen's Club, Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Gloucester.
First game.
Well, Stefan Edberg lives not far from here, Mark. He's had terrific support all the week. I fancy this crowd will be wanting him to win. Will that have an effect on Becker?
I don't know that it necessarily adversely affect Becker, but it certainly will lift Edberg. He's responded so well to the crowd, and they have indeed been immensely supportive. But of course, he's the sort of chap that you do want to support, isn't he? I mean, he plays the game so cleanly. He's such a sportsman, and his style of play, he's very creative on the court. He's not a physical player. He moves into the net so quickly. He plucks away at the volleys, and he is indeed an exciting player to to support, and I think that it's all part and parcel of his demeanour and his presence on the court, why the spectators warm to him.
Well, his wife's here, Annette. So is little Emily. I saw her earlier today.
Time.
And she's 3 years old. And the professionalism of Edberg has been one of the features of his preparation throughout the years. This year, in preparation for this final, they got Mark Philippoussis, the great Australian server, to come and bang some balls down to try and sort of simulate what they were likely to expect from Becker this afternoon.
Love.
All right.
30 love.
Out.
40 love.
You can often measure Stefan's performances by the quality of his forehand on any given day. His backhand is a classic shot, one of his favourites, but if the forehand's working well, then usually the rest of his game's working well.
Well, there was a fine forehand by Edberg. In fact, his return of serve on the forehand is very much better than the rallying shot.
Let for serve.
Just out. And Shirley Bassey seems to be overcome by that wonderful attempt at a lob.
Love. Love.
Getting to the net on his own terms will be the task for Edberg today, which won't be too difficult if he can serve well, but if he serves poorly, and particularly misses a lot of first serves, then I think he's going to be in a bit of trouble.
30-15.
Notice that Becker approached the net towards the Edberg forehand.
(40-15).
Edberg's serve, if it happens to drop just a little bit short, Becker's going to do that. It really is a super backhand. He doesn't move his feet, just rotates his body, hits the racket through the ball.
Game Edberg. Edberg leads 2-1.
So 2-1 to Edberg. Boris Becker has yet to find, I think, his full timing and range. He was saying the other day, Mark, that he felt that the ball that is being used again this year, the slightly slower one, which was introduced last year, has been a great benefit because they are able to indulge in rallies from the back of the court and it helps his returns.
Yes, I mean, I think the slightly slower ball is still going to favour the big server because they're going to gain the benefit of it. But I think where we benefit as the spectator is that we certainly see longer rallies and see the skill and the ability of these players, which is so considerable. But Becker, it strikes me as though he's in a slightly strange mood. He's very contained, and he has been the entire tournament. He's not, we've not seen any outward expression or anything like that. He seems to be sort of very, very controlled. And indeed, I think his game has been very controlled, very measured throughout the tournament. And at the side of the court there is Mrs. Becker and the gentleman in the cap, Mike De Palma, who's coaching Boris Becker at the moment.
(15-11).
A bit fortunate for Becker because 2 consecutive volleys did not come out of the middle of the racket. And because of that, they helped him.
(40-11).